And we are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host, Rob, aka B-Ball Archives. And once again, it's just me up in here. We don't have a whole lot of earth shattering stuff to talk about tonight. It's just a common W against the Washington Wizards, the worst team in the NBA. They are at the bottom of the barrel of an already watered down Eastern Conference. So, of course, we get that win tonight. Shouldn't really be a big surprise there. But we only win 124 to 113. I thought it should have been a much larger victory. So it's almost an ugly victory. We'll dive into that. But first and foremost, yeah, we're just rounding this stretch of games as we get into the holiday season. So I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays. First and foremost, hopefully you're going to get to spend some time with your loved ones and get to spend some time with the people that you cherish this holiday season. So hopefully that is a reality for you. But a reality tonight is a Spurs W against a terrible against a terrible Wizards team, of course. They, like we just said, they are at the bottom of the barrel in the Eastern Conference in the whole NBA. They are just absolute trash. Uh, and on top of that, they're banged up. This is a Wizards team that had six players out, only 10 players in the rotation for them tonight. One of them being Alex Sarr, their best rim protector, their key down low blocker. So when you look at it through that lens, it's a no wonder that we really were able to dominate points in the paint. So getting the ball down low was an obvious point of emphasis. That's why we score 56 points in the paint and we dominate stuff like the offensive rebounds. 20 offensive rebounds for us, eight for the Wizards. A lot of that is Luke Kornet with six offensive rebounds, Keldon Johnson with six offensive rebounds. So a lot of that is just high effort, high intensity plays from a lot of our wing and front court options. And a lot of that just led to uh, just domination down low, and it led to more opportunities for us. We took 104 shots, they took 95. So just the more opportunities that you get, the more second chance opportunities you can create for your team, the better. So I really look at just rebounding as a whole as one of the key elements that gave us the win tonight. So the Wizards really just couldn't keep up with our size and physicality. That's why you see us 61 rebounds. They only had 43. So it's just really, really tough to be in an environment where you can just match a team when they have Kornet meeting that physicality right at the rim, which is 7'1", 275 pounds worth of size and ability to finish. And I think that's where I really want to start when we talk about the individual play tonight. Is I gotta just glaze Luke Kornet just a little bit because he is absolutely crucial when we talk about stretches without Wemby, even stretches with Wemby. I'll dive into the double big stuff a little bit later on. But Luke Kornet, 20 points, 12 rebounds, super efficient, didn't miss a free throw, 8 for 11 from the field. This is exactly why you pay Luke Kornet $11 million for 4 seasons. It's or excuse me, 4 seasons, 11 million per year. That's exactly why you solidify your rotation with a guy like this, because he can handle that 27, 28 minutes a game and really churn out a lot of efficient performances like tonight, where he's not only finishing around the rim, rebounding efficiently, but he's also defending the rim with some good physicality as well, and not fouling. Not fouling a lot in needless situations is very, very key as well. So that's exactly what you want to see from Luke Cornett. A lot of ferocious offensive rebounding, putting his body on the line to make sure that we had an additional opportunity. I really love to see that, especially when he's battling a lot of guys that are, 21, 22 years old that have some fresher legs than him. So I think this is a sign that Luke Kornet is definitely buying into the Spurs system even more so than we thought. Um, this is also another game that we saw Wemby come off the bench. I don't know how much more we're going to see Wemby come off the bench. I know I said in the previous episode I was okay with him coming off the bench for this game because it's not like we necessarily needed to push him heavy minutes in the starting lineup in order to get this win. Obviously, we're talking about the Wizards. They're the bottom feeder of the entire NBA. So sure, let's play Wembanyama 21 minutes and just really ease him in back into the speed of the game when you're talking about playing 35 minutes. But yeah, it was more business as usual from Wembanyama, a very quiet double double, and he was able to protect the rim with ease once again, getting a couple of blocks, making it look very easy with 12 rebounds as well. Just really creating a lot of defensive stopping situations when we look at what he is able to do. But it's just nice to see him be in a team situation where we can just ease him back into the rotation delicately, and it's not a big worry about whether or not he's going to re-injure something, or are we handling this situation poorly. No, we know we're tiptoeing, getting Wemby back into the water. We would never just throw him into the deep end, and we're seeing the benefit of that. He's still performing very well, very efficient double doubles coming off the bench. So I absolutely love to see that. I also really love to see what we saw from De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox really stepped up a lot of various moments throughout this game. The first half, he was really incredible. He was hitting threes, step back, sidestep threes, very difficult threes. Also, he was able to get to the basket, knife through the defense with relative ease, and finish around the rim. And he did a really good job of also hitting his free throws, 2 of 3. Which isn't amazing, but he hit a couple of key ones when it mattered the most. But from three is where I was really impressed with De'Aaron Fox. 5 for 7 from beyond the arc and really shooting with confidence, moving off the ball in one of the best games, one of the best off-ball games I've seen from De'Aaron Fox all season, catching and shooting with confidence when he got to his spots. So I really thought that was an amazing performance from him, just really showing why you bring him in and you pay him 50 million a year, because he's going to bring you 27, 7 and 6, and he's going to do it when it matters the most, shoot above 50%. He did all those things tonight. And I love to see this kind of bounce back game for De'Aaron Fox because 2 previous games, single digit scoring. You don't necessarily want that to be the trend for a high volume shooter and a high volume scorer like De'Aaron Fox. So it's nice to see him bounce back with a 27-point performance. And especially if it needs to be against a team like the Wizards, so be it. But you need to see the ball go into the bucket, and that's what you saw from De'Aaron tonight with the 10 made field goals. So I really love to see that. Keldon Johnson, another huge game off the bench. I will continue to sing Keldon Johnson's praises as long as he keeps having these really impactful games. We're looking at 12 points, 9 rebounds. 6 of them were offensive rebounds, creating additional opportunities. A couple of them, he's just pushing out larger guys out of the paint, and it just doesn't matter. He can be matched up with somebody that's just way, way bigger. He can be matched up. A couple times he was matched up against Tristan Vucevic, and he pushed him out of the paint and really made a 6'11", 260-pound guy question if he was going to be able to out physical Keldon Johnson on the block. And I just love that he's gonna bring that energy night in, night out. So another big game from Keldon, really showing you why he's getting those wing minutes and he's a part of our consistent nine-man rotation. Love that from Keldon a lot. There was moments where Steph Castle was playing really well, but I also have to be very critical of him offensively, and it just wasn't his night shooting. He just wasn't really ready to hit those shots. 1 for 5 from beyond the arc, 4 for 16 overall, and there was a couple of finishes around the rim where he just didn't look like he had the touch, but he still got to the line a lot. He got to the line 13 times and made 9 of them. I don't love what I'm seeing from his free throw shooting. He shot obviously 69% tonight. That's about what we generally see from him night in, night out, is about 70%. When we talk about a guy like Steph Castle and his ability to get downhill, attack the basket, I just create contact with the defender. I really wanna see him shooting 80, 85% from the line because he has so many chances to make those buckets, so many chances to rack up easy points because he's getting fouled with such regularity, and I think I would love to see him make 11 of those 13 rather than 9 for 13. It's just there's going to be a lot of close games, especially now that we're looking at for sure playoff basketball. Those close games, I want to make sure that we're scoring those 2 extra 3, extra 4 points, and free throws is a very easy way to do that. So, but still, Steph Castle did a lot of good things as well. Definitely did a good job distributing the basketball. When I look at his 11 assists, he did a really fantastic job with his active hands on defense. There was a really amazing half court steal where it led to him getting a fantastic windmill dunk. And it's those kind of highlight plays that just leave your jaw on the ground, and you're realizing that Steph Castle is that really fantastic point of attack defender, team defender, where he can not only guard the opposing team's best offensive player, but he can play really good help side defense as well. And then on top of that, he can also deliver that exclamation point style dunk where it's emphatic. He's windmilling on top of your head. It doesn't matter who's in the paint. Steph Castle's going right at you. So the fact that he is both of those players all in one package, Spurs fans, we are absolutely blessed that Stephon Castle's playing basketball for the silver and black. Absolutely. But yes, there was a lot of other Spurs that I need to shout out as well. We need to shout out Harrison Barnes. He hit a couple of good corner threes, 2 for 6 from downtown overall. Mr. 100%, not quite 100% tonight, but I do like overall his shot selection. I do enjoy what I'm seeing from his shot selection. So really fantastic stuff from HB when we look at it through that lens. And he has so many good, what I like to call unk takes, where he just takes the ball at his own speed right to the basket, creates good contact, brings good physicality, really forces the defender to make a choice. Are you going to are you going to set your roots and try to draw this offensive foul, or are you going to stay with him and try to get that block? Most people feel like they can try to get that block, and it usually leads to HB drawing a foul or finishing around the rim. So I really have to look at it through that lens and say, HB, keep doing your thing, keep going to the basket, and stay open for those corner threes. Keep doing your thing. Kind of a tough night for Devin Vassell, 3 for 11 from the field, 2 for 7 from deep. Just one of those nights where it just wasn't going into the basket for him. There was a couple of tough shots he took where it's it's just leading me to believe that he needs to be more of a catch and shoot guy rather than relying on off the dribble situations. And I would love to see him stay ready for the catch and shoot more so than wanting the ball at the top of the key and kind of garnering a pick and roll. So I think maybe a slight shift in how he was playing previously, where he's more ready for the catch and shoot. I want to see a little bit more of that. Uh, but really, outside of that, a tough night from Julian Champagne as well. A tough night from Dylan Harper as well. Did not make a field goal. It You're gonna have those kind of rookie growing pains where you go out there, you're not seeing anything go into the basket, and it's tough to build confidence off of nothing essentially. But he still went out there. He had a couple of really good passes that ended up being assists, a couple of decent rebounds. So he still is giving you good effort, but at the end of the day, he is going to have some of these stinker performances because no made field goals in 17 minutes does not scream, hey, that's the second overall pick. But Dylan Harper is a fantastic talent, and we know that this is the outlier performance. We know the last time we played the Wizards, he had a career high 24 points, and he's somewhere in between that right now. He's somewhere in between that 24-point outburst and this 0-point performance or the 0 field goals made that we saw tonight. He's somewhere in between that, obviously. But overall, good team win. I like to see us get the W, but it's kind of an ugly team win because when I look at the Wizards and the fact that they are the worst team in the NBA, sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, we should be winning by 25 like we did previously a few days ago. We should be handling them with ease. We were up 20 points going into halftime. I don't like to see us fool around in the third quarter once again and let this Wizards team feel like they even had a shot. They cut the lead to 9, and that to me is a sign of we just got to nip that in the bud. The Wizards are not talented enough of a team to warrant us being that worried at various stages in the fourth quarter. It's just not. Overall, it's just yeah, we gotta be doing better. We gotta be doing more to close out games. Just a couple other things I was seeing tonight. It was interesting seeing us run double big lineups multiple times. We ran Wemby Kornet. Obviously, we saw the French vanilla connection out there, the French connection. We also saw Wemby and Olynyk play together a couple of minutes, and we also saw Kornet and Olynyk play a little bit as well. So it's nice to see Mitch Johnson whenever we're playing teams like the Wizards to go out there and experiment with the lineup a little bit because you never know who's going to gel together, which lineup is actually going to be able to stick, and what makes sense. So I really like to see the double big lineup. Uh, One thing I also saw, speaking of bigs, is Mitch Johnson after a really silly Wemby turnover mid third quarter. He laid into Wemby right in front of everyone. And I haven't seen too much of that, but I was really, really proud of Mitch Johnson for kind of taking the reins and just making everyone see that Wemby can be coached the same way that everyone else can be coached, and he can be coached hard. I can give him instructions, and they can be direct and firm, and I loved that. It reminded me of Popovich and Tim Duncan back in the day where Popovich would say something stern to Tim Duncan right on the bench, and you would see Tim just receive it, accept that accept that piece of coaching, and then go out there and make those changes. And it sends a signal to everyone else on the bench that, hey, if the star player can get coached like that, then I need to humble myself. I need to get coached like that as well. So it really kind of warmed my heart a little bit, to be honest, to see Wembenyama be open to that consistent, tough coaching. So that was one thing I did notice out there. But overall, we got the win. We got the win, and we denied the Wizards an upset victory. And I'm gonna wave the finger like Wemby did tonight when he got that block. And it was nice to see him play with that aggressiveness around the paint, just wanting to defend the rim, wanting to finish with ferocity. His dunks tonight, it just felt like he had a little additional energy, just really wanting to punish anyone trying to meet him at the rim. So yes, the Wizards were banged up, but the Spurs still went out there and got that win. So it's go Spurs go. Absolutely proud of the guys. Just one other quick shout out. I got a shout out to the GOAT. I got a shout out to James Naismith, the inventor of basketball. 134 years ago today, he invented the great sport of basketball. This sport has absolutely changed my life. Not only did I, was I fortunate enough to play all throughout high school, took my team to the Texas State tournament, but also played multiple years in college and was very thankful to actually have a career where I was able to learn a lot from a lot of really wonderful coaches that not only broke me down, but helped build me back up as well. So, shout out to James Naismith for inventing the game that has affected so many of our lives for the better. So, just shout out to the GOAT. And quick dunk. I got to get a quick dunk in there, dunking on Wizards fans for booing Kelly Olynyk. Yeah, sure. Kelly Olynyk, it was a flagrant foul against Kelly Oubre. How long ago was that? Yeah, everyone forgot because Kelly Olynyk isn't on the same team anymore, and y'all don't even have Kelly Oubre anymore. So what are we even talking about over here? Why are we still booing Kelly? It's just Kelly on Kelly crime. I don't get it. So Wizards fans, go ahead and dunk on yourselves. I had to sneak that in there. But absolutely, if you're still here, if you're still listening to the podcast, we appreciate you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over here. All of this is brought to you by Love You Hard TV. The podcast would not be the same without you. We appreciate all of your engagement, whether you're watching the clips on Instagram, whether you're watching on TikTok, you're watching the lives on YouTube, you're consuming the podcast on Apple Podcast. We're on Apple Podcast as well, or you're engaging with our Twitter stuff. It doesn't matter where you're watching this. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the community wherever you are. We want to connect with Spurs fans each and every day, everywhere we possibly can. So if you're a part of that community, we thank you and we appreciate you. So that being said, good Spurs win tonight. I'm going to hop off here and I'm going to end this episode the same way we end all episodes. And that's with a go Spurs, a go. Bum 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 Spurs win. Bum 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 bum